All right, brothers and sisters, back again with another lesson. All praises to the Most High God of Israel for giving us another week where we can come before each other and congregate once again. Before I get started, brothers and sisters, doing any more talking, we got to do the mic check. Let me see. Yeah, mine no. The other one ain't on. And I think I seen it get turned on.
Oh yeah, mine.
Oh, it's on.
It sound like it was kind of in the background.
Oh, let me see. Let me see. Well, that's why we doing it. Brothers and sisters, if you can hear my mic well, if there's no in and out sounds, if it doesn't sound like it's far away, if there is no grainy noise or anything like that, just put a 7 in the chat for me so I know everything is all good.
I think they just had to be pushed in a little bit more. Back there. Oops.
All right, brothers and sisters, I definitely appreciate your participation. Just let me know everything is all good because, again, I don't know if there's a problem unless you guys tell me. And just as a reminder, guys, Monday the 22nd, which is Feast of Trumpets, brothers and sisters, we will be coming together to do a lesson that's going to start at 10 a.m. So Monday at 10 a.m., brothers and sisters, we'll be coming together to do a lesson for the Feast of Trumpets and how it relates to Christ and how it relates to us. Because ultimately, brothers and sisters, we have to get some understanding about Christ and how these things, these feast days or these holy days relate to us. Because remember, all of those things that were given to Moses, brothers and sisters, they were just building blocks. They were just teaching tools to teach us or instruct us about Christ. And so on these days, we need to be teaching Christ, not the carnal day, but we need to be teaching Christ. So, yes, there is a use for the law, and that law is to do what? To teach Christ. Okay. And brothers and sisters, before I get started, I just want to say, hey, make sure you're doing the right thing out here today. Because it's getting crazy, brothers and sisters. It's getting crazy out here. The Lord, He just taking people out. And these heathen, the Lord ain't showing them no mercy. And like I told you, the curses, they have already begun. Because we got this thing where we like to wait on a certain event. We waiting on this one moment in time. No, brothers and sisters. The curses have already begun and it's afflicting the heathen. And let me tell you something. I could care less about their tears, their agony, or their pain. They deserve everything that is coming to them. They deserve everything that is coming their way. Just like us, we deserved everything that came our way for defying the living God. And see, only the saints, only the children of God accepts the punishment of our doings. And we have humbled ourselves and we have bowed the knee to God. And see, now it's time for the heathen to get theirs for the evil that they have done to our God and to us. And so when you see them crying out because they can't pay their bills, because they're in debt, because they done caught a disease, because one of theirs and they got shot or took out by their brothers and sisters, pay no mind to it, brothers and sisters. Keep it moving. Them tears don't mean a thing to me. Keep it moving. And that's what y'all need to do. Keep it moving. Stay out of that stuff. All that left versus right, that's all of the Lord. Because he's dividing them. Divide and conquer. And who is he doing it through? He's doing it through they rich brothers, through the merchants. Got them causing division. These things must come to pass, brothers and sisters, because these things are going to lead to our salvation. They're not just happening just to happen. No, the collapse of these nations lead to our salvation. And that's what we waiting on. We waiting on the collapse of the nations and their evil government, and we are awaiting the arrival of our Messiah and to be under his government. Not this government of injustice, but the government of what? Justice. Because these heathen, they crying not. And it go to show you that they ain't never been through nothing. They never had to struggle. They never had to feel that pain. And now they're expressing the same sentiments black people used to express. Now they're expressing these same sentiments. The system is against us. This system is corrupt. It's crooked. You can't get ahead. I'm doing all I can, and I still can't get on top. They expressing the same sentiments. And what is it? It's just the chickens coming home to roost. You must reap what you sow. The Lord tell you that he's not mocked. And you know what that mocked is? That mocked is called time. Because see, that's what fools man. Yeah, look at all this time that done went by. I done been doing evil, sowing my oats. 400, 500,000, 2,000 years done went by. But it don't matter about the time. It's about what the Lord has what? Declared. And it's the counsel of the Lord, brothers and sisters, that's going to stand. Mm-hmm. And that's what these heathens finna figure out. Because I know they've been in our Bible and stuff like that. I ain't talking about these little peons that walk around every day. I'm talking about the ones at the tippy top. They see this word coming to pass, and they know it ain't nothing they can do about it. That's why they cashing in all their casino chips, because they know that music gonna stop one day. And with their own people, they just using them as foot soldiers to accomplish what they want to have accomplished. And I've been telling y'all that this gospel, that's what this gospel is about. So when we proclaiming this gospel is about the nations falling and the apes ruling. And I say that because they show you that on Planet of the Apes. That's what the gospel is. Liberation from an oppressor. Liberation from our captors, from our abusers. Liberation from mistreatment. That's what this gospel is all about. And I want to let you know, them people that's in our land, them imposters, they gonna all be wiped out at the return of the Messiah. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith his word. They're gonna all be wiped out. So let them plunder and pluck our land and war on it. Hey, let them do all that. I told, man, that's why I be telling y'all, I don't be up at night worried, sick, and oh goodness, what's gonna happen and how the Lord gonna work it out. I don't deal with all that, brothers and sisters. I believe the Lord's word. I believe in his counsel. That's why even in a time like this, brothers and sisters, no matter what happens, I, as well as you, have a peace that surpasses all understand. Man, you don't see what's going on out here? You ain't riled up. You ain't stressed out. You ain't worried. No, I'm not. Because I'm built off of Christ. That's why. I'm built off of his words. And so no matter what storms come, no matter what waves crash against the foundation, I ain't going nowhere. 10 toes down, nails sticking out. We should not be in fear, brothers and sisters. Now, you wicked. Now, that's a different story. If you wicked, you should be in fear. Because guess what? You finna get ready to get some of these plagues that Babylon finna get from God. And the Lord tell us that. He like, listen, any Israelite that want to join this system and love these heathen and be a part of what they got going on, he say, hey, I got some curses for you. I got some destruction for you. And you see it too. A lot of these Israelites that's sellouts, kissing the feet and the boots of their master, the Lord getting them too. He's stripping their pockets. They're being slain. The Lord is furious, brothers and sisters. You got to understand that. This ain't the time to be showing your behind. But all right, brothers and sisters, we're gonna go ahead and get into this lesson. So we're gonna be taking a look at Colossians chapter 3. Just picking up where I left off from last time, but before we get into Colossians 3, we're gonna read a few verses from Colossians chapter 2. And Mama Kazai, was there anything you wanted to say before we got started? Good to go? Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just be making sure you want to do some talking or something. Okay. But we're gonna just read a few words, a few verses from Colossians chapter 2, so that way we can regain the thought that we ended with last time. So that way it can carry on over into this Colossians chapter 3. Okay. So remember, Colossians is a letter written from Paul and Timothy to the Israelites in Colossae, okay, to the Israelites who are supposed to be following after Christ. So it ain't on the paper, but we're going to go ahead and go to Colossians 2, and we're going to read verses 20 through 23. Okay, and when you get there, go ahead.
Wherefore, if you be dead with Christ from the rudiments of the world, why, as though living in the world, are you subject to ordinances? Touch not, taste not, handle not.
That's all I want to read right there. So it says, wherefore, if you be dead with Christ from the rudiments of the world, why, as though living in the world, you are subject to ordinance? Because you have to understand, to be dead with Christ, brothers and sisters, we're dealing with government here, okay? And Satan has a government, okay? And this government is the dominant force, or is prevalent in this world today. This is the world marches by Satan's government's drumbeat. Okay, and his government The currency of his government is hatred. Okay. And that hatred breeds sin. Okay. Not loving one another. That's what hatred is, the lack of love for one another. And that's what breeds sin. That's where all them sins come from, unbelief and all of those different things like that. But when we come to Christ, we die to Satan and his government in the way him and his children operate. Envy, malice, fornication, dishonesty, no integrity, things like that, brothers and sisters. That's all a part of Satan's government. In which, in times past, brothers and sisters, let's not kid ourselves. We walked in Satan's government. We lived in his government. We operated according to his government, but we no longer operate in his government. We operate in the government of Christ. The Lord said, hey, that stuff you was doing under Satan's government, you're not going to do that under my government. And the currency of the Lord's government is what? Love. The currency of Satan's government is hatred. And under the Lord's government, he wants to see what? Kindness. He wants to see charity, honor, honesty, marriage, which is the opposite of fornication. These are the things that he wants to see, brothers. And so he wants to see kind words, not words that stir up wrath. That's under Satan's government. But under God's government, we don't do those things. Under Satan's government, it's do what thou wilt. But under the Lord's government, he teaches what? Accountability, self-discipline, contentment. That's under the Lord's government. And when you operate under the Lord's government, brothers and sisters, here is under Satan's government, because we still under his government, but we don't operate in it. You gonna stick out like a sore thumb. And you will be hated for it, brothers and sisters, because you're operating under a different set of rules, another kingdom's rules. So it says, wherefore, if you be dead with Christ from the rudiments of the world, or the government of the world, which is run by Satan, why is though living in the world are ye subject to ordinances? Touch not, taste not, handle not. Okay, go ahead. That verse 22.
Which are all to perish with the using, after the commandments and doctrines of men.
Right, because again, you're supposed to be under Christ's government. You're supposed to be adhering to his government, his rules, his regulations, his way of life. But instead of coming under Christ's government, you still trying to come up with stuff. You trying to come up with your own government. No, it say the government is on Christ's shoulders, not yours. It's on his shoulders. So guess what? We got to come under him and do what he say. Because all of these traditions and these customs, all of these things that men make up, it holds no weight with God. Now, in the eyes of man, these rules that men come up with, which ultimately come back to what? The man being worshipped. The man looking good in front of everybody. But yet none of that stuff holds any weight with God. And see, it's through those things that his government gets undermined. That's why the Lord told the Pharisees, he said, listen, by your traditions, the commandments of God are overlooked. They are made of none effect through your traditions. That's what he's talking about. Which means what? You're still ever learning and never able to come to the truth. And the truth is what, brothers and sisters? Christ in us. That's the truth. Because this is all about acquiring God's nature. And you're going to only be able To operate in his government, you're only going to be able to operate in his government if you have his nature. If you do not have God's nature, you will not be able to operate in his government. It's impossible. Let's go real quick to 2 Timothy 3. So I wasn't really planning on going here, but hey, sometimes that's how it is. 2 Timothy 3, and we're going to read verse 7. And when you get there, go ahead.
Ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth.
And the knowledge of the truth, that word truth means what? Christ. And what he's trying to do. And what is he trying to do, brothers and sisters? He's trying to give you his nature. And to give you his nature means to take on his mind. Get rid of your old filthy mind and take on his mindset. Because see, Israel, this is what the children of Israel needs. Israel needs a resurrection. They need a moral reformation. That's why nothing is going to work, brothers and sisters. We need more businesses. We need more hospitals. We need more banks. Our people need to get married more. No, but the nucleus, though, is Israel needs a moral reformation. They need to be resurrected. Or else all these other things you're trying to do, it ain't going to work, brothers and sisters. It's just not. All right, but back to Colossians 2 and verse 3.
23.
Oh, yeah, verse 23. Go ahead.
Which
be looking at that like, to read all that. I
was just like, I think you meant 23.
Oh, nah. Yeah, we at 23.
Which things have indeed a shew of wisdom and will worship.
Yeah, and to some degree, man, they try to come up with things, to organize themselves. And, the Lord letting you know, I mean, it has some show of wisdom, and it's not all bad, but still, it holds no weight with God. Because remember, brothers and sisters, by you creating your own rules and ordinance and stuff like that, you're still saying that there is another way. And Jesus just told you there is no other way. I am the way. I am the government that you need, the government that you're seeking. I am that way. Go ahead.
And humility and neglecting of the body, not in any honor to the satisfying of the flesh.
Right. It does not, but it's like those things are good, but in terms of the inner man, resurrecting the mind, a moral reformation, it does nothing. If you was a sinner before you was a vegan, guess what? When you become a vegan, you just gonna be a vegan sinner. Because you haven't been resurrected. You haven't taken on the nature of God. You was a sinner before, you're gonna be a sinner after. Yeah, I gotta be a 1%er. You're gonna be a 100% sinner. That's what you're gonna be. I gotta do keto. I gotta do all of these things, brothers and sisters, because that's all of this man-made stuff. And that's why I name like being a vegan and stuff, because these are these self-imposed customs and traditions that man create to try to obtain that which only God can give you, and that's his nature.
That's right.
I'm sorry, and I have to say it, but you hear these fools with all of this vegan and I have to do keto and all of this because they keep talking about the God body. Listen, the Lord lets you know, ain't none of that God body stuff. You need to be acquiring my nature, or you ain't gonna get no God body. No, brothers and sisters, we must shed this flesh. That's what the Bible teaches. We must needs to shed this flesh.
Mhm.
All we could do in this body is acquire God's nature. But the God body, we talking about physically. The God body, that comes later. All right. So we're going to go ahead, brothers and sisters, and continue. We're going to get into the lesson now. Colossians chapter 3 and verse 1. Now, hold on. That's right. Warren Halter, they still going back to the earth. That's right. I don't care how healthy you eat.
Mhm.
I don't care how many smoothies and vegetable shakes, how much seaweed and all of that stuff like that. You are not gonna, not because like us, we drink and we eat all that stuff. We healthy up in here, but we understand we ain't finna get no God body. It's appointed the man wants to die. No, but what we can obtain right now is God's nature.
That's right.
And in acquiring God's nature, we walk in the Lord's government.
Mhm.
Which once again, the kingdom doesn't come with observation. Okay, Colossians chapter 3, and we're going to read verse 1. Go ahead.
If you then be risen with Christ, seek those things which are above, where Christ sitteth on the right hand of God.
Okay, so it says, if you then be risen with Christ, and we got a scripture for that. But brothers and sisters, this isn't talking about physically, even though we will have a physical resurrection stuff. We know that, but we talking spiritually, brothers and sisters. We talking about regarding the mind, being risen, resurrected in the mind, being born again, being a new creature. It says, with us being born again, with us being a new creature, having acquired the nature of God. And what, brothers and sisters, I want to ask y'all something. What is God's nature? Y'all in the chat, what in the world is God's nature? Right, Duet Patterson, the way you walk, but how do you walk? What is his nature? That's right, brothers and sisters. God's nature is love.
Mhm.
And remember, that love, brothers and sisters, you got to remember, it's a government. It's the nucleus. It's the core. It's the currency of the government of God. And guess what? From those things, because we talk about love, because love, again, is the government of God, but it's the nucleus, the very currency of God's nature. And from that, brothers and sisters, that dictates how you treat your fellow man, how you treat the disadvantaged, the poor, the fatherless, the widow, the disabled.
Mhm.
The foundation of your government determines all of those things in your society, in your city, in your state, in your country. So if you don't have that right, everything else is going to be a mess. Because as we know with Satan, his government, his currency, his core, his nucleus is what? Hatred. And everything stems from that. This is why there is injustice towards who? The disadvantaged, the poor, the widowless. I meant the widows. the fatherless, the homeless, the poor, the captive. Because it's two separate governments, brothers and sisters. And the Lord say, if you serve me, you cannot operate in that government, which is hatred. You cannot operate in it. I better not even see it. If you then be risen with Christ, seek those things which are above. And what is above? Where Christ sitteth on the right hand of God. In other words, when he say those things which are above, again, he's reiterating Christ in his what? Government. That's what you should be focused on.
Mm.
And why do we focus on it? Because we're trying to bring heaven, brothers and sisters, on earth. Meaning what? Christ and his government. We trying to bring that to this earth. Because remember, the kingdom does not come with observation. It starts with you. You begin operating and exercising in this government. And when Christ see, they're operating in my government. The temple's ready. I'm going down now.
Mm.
That's what we looking at, brothers and sisters. But let me see if I want to read. Yeah, let's just go ahead and go down Romans 6. Because I explained it, but I would like to go to the scripture. Because it talked about being risen with Christ. And I got to show y'all the scripture just so y'all know this ain't talking about nothing physical. Even though later it will be physical. But right now it's talking spiritually. So Romans chapter 6 and verse 5 and 6. And when you get there, go ahead.
For if we have been planted together in the likeness of his death.
Planted where? In that vineyard.
Mm.
In that new commonwealth. The new vineyard. That's where we've been planted, brothers and sisters. Together in the likeness of his death. Go ahead.
We shall be also in the likeness of his resurrection.
Right. Now, and again, we know physically, but here it's talking spiritually. In his image, meaning his nature, his mind, meaning God's nature, his mindset, his thoughts. That's what this is talking about. Verse 6.
Knowing this, that our old man is crucified with him.
That's right. That old man, meaning that old mindset, that wicked mindset that operated in the government of Satan. Go ahead.
That the body of sin might be destroyed.
There go that word body again, brothers and sisters. Go ahead.
That henceforth we should not serve sin.
That the body of sin might be destroyed, that we henceforth should not serve sin. Now, brothers and sisters, that body of sin, that body has a head. And the head on that body of sin, brothers and sisters, who is the head on that body of sin? Who is the head on that body of sin? Because we know the head on the body of righteousness, we know that's Christ. Who is the head on that body of sin? That's right, brothers and sisters. Satan. He's the head on that body of sin. Now, we all know that the body does work. The body ain't just a body. The body does work. Just like we are part of Christ and his body. And we work the works of righteousness, which is of his government. Well, it ain't no different because Satan, he's a copycat. It ain't no different from when you in Satan. When under Satan, you got malice, envy, you got blasphemy, fornication, wrath, wrathful words, strife, division. The destruction of the poor, brothers and sisters, the destruction of the needy. That's what the body of sin works. Go ahead, Zahar.
And you're right, because if you all go over to James chapter 3, just real quick, verses 14 through 17, this just goes with what you were just explaining about, how Satan works in his body. When you think about the body, government,
Mm-hmm.
they even call that government's a body.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're talking about being risen with Christ, and you were talking about how he said, seek those things which be above.
Mm-hmm.
And you were talking about how that goes back to that love, because love should be the foundation of the government. It is the foundation of the government of Christ.
That's right.
I said that to read this.
Mm.
But if you have bitter envying and strife in your hearts, glory not and lie not against the truth. This wisdom descendeth not from above, like where Christ is at,
That's right. Mm.
but is earthly, sensual, devilish.
Mm.
Mm. And then he says, for where envy and strife is, there is confusion in every evil work. But the wisdom that is from above, like Christ, seek
That's
that
right.
which is above, is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. So now we know that they just go back to what you've been saying.
That's heavy. Yeah. That's it, brothers and sisters. I told y'all. So basically, what we're looking at, brothers and sisters, is two governments are at war. The government of Satan, and then you have the government of Christ. And the government of Christ is that which is above. And the government of Satan is that which is below here, what? On earth. That's why I say don't put your focus on things on the earth, because that's Satan's playground. That's his government. It's the get down, how he get down, how the world move, how it operate. We ain't supposed to operate how this world operates. Mm-hmm.
And then he said that that bitter envying and strife, he calls that a wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice, he said this wisdom descendeth not from above. So those are those two governments you're talking about. So the one from the earthly is a wisdom.
Right.
It's set up on those principles right there, that where only the top benefit and the poor get ran over.
And see how Zahara called it principles. In the Bible, it's called rudiments, which means principles. So that's absolutely correct.
And then Christ, how his government is set up off the peaceable and gentle, that is a wisdom. This goes back to what we read in Colossians Chapter 2 about which things have indeed a shew of wisdom.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And humility and neglecting of the body, but not that body of sin.
That's right. That's heavy.
Yeah. Just thought I'd share it.
That's deep, man.
And just adding to what Zahara was saying, that you do have two wisdoms, and that goes back to that 1 Corinthians 3. And when it tells you about let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. Then again, the Lord knoweth the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain.
That's right. That's why Paul. That's right. And that's
Wow.
why Paul said to give those things up, he counted it not loss.
Mhm.
Mm, mm, mm. There's some heavy stuff, bro. So you gotta be spiritual,
You
boy,
do,
to
because if you
understand this. If you carnal and worldly, this stuff fly right over your head. Okay, so now we're going back to Colossians chapter 3. We read all that Romans? Yeah, we did.
yeah, we
So Colossians chapter 3, we're going to read verses 2 through 4. When you get there, go ahead.
set your affection on things above.
Now, when it says set your affection, that word affection means what? Mind. Set your mind on things above. And what things above? Christ and his government. Go ahead.
Not on things on the earth.
Satan and his government. Okay, go ahead.
For you are dead, and your life is hid with Christ in
Meaning
God.
it is stored in Christ. Go ahead.
When Christ, who is our life, shall appear, then shall you also appear with him in glory.
That's right. So in that at that time, then we dealing physically with the God body. You will not only have his nature, but you will also have the body that he has. But I like that it says, set your affection on things above, not on the things on earth. Because like I told you, we're dealing with two separate governments. Okay. Let's go real quick to 1 John 2. Because we're going to take a look at that. Said, don't set your mind on the things on this earth. And so we're going to figure out what some of these things are. Okay. 1 John. I always struggle finding 1 John. Here we go. I always end up hitting John instead of 1 John. 1 John 2. And we're going to read 15 through 17. Okay. Because we're dealing with Satan's government. Go ahead.
Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
Yeah, so if you love Satan's government, the way things run, how it operate, you like being a part of it. Hey, the Bible says the love of the Father is not in you. And you know what the love of the Father is? We went over it, I think, in 1st or 2nd John. But the love of the Father is Christ. No man can come to Christ except the Father draw him. And to come to Christ is to have Christ in you, to acquire his nature. That means the love of the Father ain't in you. You still out here in the world. You love the way it operate. You love the get down. Love of the Father ain't in you. But what? 16?
For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of God abideth forever.
And that's what's in the world. That's what's in Satan's kingdom. Lust, brothers and sisters. Pleasure. And to obtain those pleasures, you have to operate in his government. And his government is what? Every man against his neighbor. What they call it, they say what? Dog eat dog. Get him. I gotta get him before he get me. I got it. He better get it. That's Satan's government. But you got to understand, brothers and sisters, all of these evils that are mentioned, like, malice, envy, fornication, hatred, variance. You have to understand that all murder, you have to understand that these aren't just sins. Like, ooh, it's just sin. No, brothers and sisters, these are things you commit against your fellow man.
Mm-hmm.
That's Satan's government. And his government rewards you. If you want these things that Satan provide, you got to operate according to his system. And that's to do what? Do your fellow man in. Go ahead, though.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that's what James was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That bittering, that bitter envy, and all that striving and that glorying and all of that. That's what come with that, because people do that because they trying to get a piece of the pie. They trying to get to the bag. They want to live the good life. They want all the cars and the clothes, houses. They want to wear the finest jewelry and eat the best. And that's why they get involved in all of that, because they don't trust in the wisdom that comes from above that says, well, if I do it according to Christ,
I'll take care of you.
then Christ will provide all of these things. That's what Solomon found out, because he told, remember, the Lord had told Solomon, he said, ask me for whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And what did Solomon ask for? Wisdom
The wisdom that came
from above.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord gave him that wisdom. And as a result of all that wisdom, all of those other things, all of the money and the everything he wanted, the mansions, everything came along with that.
Yep.
And brothers and sisters, I see a lot of people trying to. It is whether it's the Israelites or the Heathen, they trying to figure out who behind all this. Now we know God behind all of it. They trying to figure out, man, is it some shadow government? Is it a monarch somewhere ruling the whole world? Is it something? Who behind it? Is it the merchants and all this stuff? No, the Lord telling you, it's Satan. He's the shadow ruler of this world.
That's right.
So technically, yeah, it's a monarch. But Satan, he's literally the shadow ruler of this world, and only God's children can see him.
Mm-hmm.
We know just who pulling the strings. This system, brothers and sisters, of Babylon is demonic. I hope y'all know that. Okay, let me sit up real quick. See, with Babylon, the propaganda machine is going 24/7. This goes back to Colossians 3 and 2. It says, set your mind on things above. Okay, this goes into meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we heard what the Lord told our father Joshua. He said, meditate on my word day and night, because what you meditate on is what's going to be in your heart. And out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning conversation with your hands. Meaning how you move and how you operate. And this is why Babylon is always pushing stuff in your face 24/7. And I'm not talking about to get you to buy clothes, shoes, cars. That's not the point. That is not even why they're showing you that. Satan know he's a master deceiver, brothers and sisters. I heard in a movie me and my mom and sister watch it say, the closer you look, the less you see.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true, brothers and sisters. The closer you look, the less you see. And that's what Satan wants. He wants you to put them blinders on. He wants you to have the tunnel vision. He wants to get you focused on the politics, or he wants you to get focused on the government, the health, the medicine, war. He wants you to focus on all of that, because as long as you're looking closely at them things, you could be fooled. The closer you look, the less you see, and the easier it is to fool you. But we, as the children of God, know what Satan is doing. He's not pushing products, brothers and sisters. He's pushing sin. In other words, he has you meditating on sin. When he's pushing products out to you I'm going to just use products. When he's pushing products out to you, it ain't about buying the products. He's pushing greed.
Mm-hmm.
He's got you meditating on greed. Because see, God have you meditating on content. But Satan, by always pushing that stuff in your face, he got you meditating on greed. Okay? And guess what that greed is going to make you want to do? It's going to make you want to one up your brother, hurt your brother to get which you don't need. You have more than enough, but Satan got you meditating on that greed. He have you meditating on fornication, showing adult websites and showing women all day on TV with no clothes on. He got you meditating on what? Fornication. It's not about the women. It ain't about what they wearing or nothing like that, but it's about selling you sin. It's about getting you to meditate. That's what Satan wants you to do. And this is why it's so powerful, brothers and sisters. This or not powerful, but this is why it's important for you to make sure you turn that phone off, turn that laptop off, turn that TV off. You ain't gotta have it off all the time. You know what I'm trying to say. But you shouldn't be meditating on that 24 hours a day. You should be meditating on God's words. You should be meditating, pull up some motivational speakers invoking positivity. Those are the things you should be meditating on. Get you some, read you some books, some positive books, because you want to meditate on the fruits of God instead of the fruits of Satan. This is why everybody out here crazy, brothers and sisters, because Satan got them meditating on all of this stuff. He got them meditating on anger. Movies about revenge, shows about revenge. You just own that all day, 24/7. So guess what? He got you meditating on it. That way, now you dealing with your brother. Hey, instead of forgiving him, which is what the Lord had you meditating on, forgiveness, you'd have been meditating on this other mess. So instead of forgiving your brother, now you're going to hold a grudge. Now you want revenge. That's right. So that's what Satan got you doing in his. He got you meditating on evil thoughts. That's what he's selling you. He's selling you evil thoughts. It ain't about the physical stuff, the products or the women or none of that. It's about corrupting your mind. Right. This is why Lord said your mind must be resurrected, because he understands Satan has had you meditating on death. Let's just deal with music, for example, right? You meditating on this thug music all day, kill a nigga, shoot him up, get him, get these women, pop this joke over here. And so guess what? It ain't about the song, but Satan got you meditating on evil thoughts towards your brother and sister. So now what does that do? That plays on the trust. That's a form of meditation, right? I was just talking to my sister and my mother this morning about crooked mechanic shops. Now you just looking at the mechanic shops being crooked, right? That's what we see. Oh, the mechanic shop crooked. Can't stand these mechanics. Got to move on, go to find another shop that I can trust. But for Satan, it's more than just that mechanic shop. For Satan, it's about sowing seeds of distrust. Right. Because you're not going to just take that mindset from the mechanic shop of this mechanic shop can't be trusted. No, you're going to take that mindset everywhere. And that's where Satan got you. Right. He say, got you, because now you're going to deal with everybody like that. Because the whole point was to sow the seeds of distrust in your mind. And so now you don't trust anybody, because my fellow man, he ain't got nothing to do with mechanics, but he could be like that mechanic shop. He probably can't be trusted. That's right. Yeah. So Satan constantly got you meditating, brothers and sisters. That's how he get down. And this is why the Most High say you need to meditate on my word. Meditate on good things, positive things. That's what we're looking at, brothers and sisters. Oh, y'all had something to say?
Yeah.
Oh, just making sure y'all was looking intently. I'm thinking,
like,
Lord,
yeah, that's some good eating right there. When the meal is good, you just I'm all down, Brother Rich Jr. throat trying to just take all the words in. But that reminds me of Philippians 4, where Paul says in verse 8, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, and whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of a good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think or meditate on these things.
See? And now y'all see why people walking around here in Babylon crazy. Because they done meditated on all of this stuff.
And I just wanted to add too, because what you were saying, what Satan is really selling is not the actual products. Like, for example, how we know is because the Lord tells us that in Revelation 17. Remember that woman that sit on the beast in the wilderness, and she had that golden cup in her hand.
That's
And
right.
listen to what he said that she had in the cup. She had abominations and
That's right.
filthiness of her fornication in that cup. And when you look at that, the woman, she was very wealthy, very rich. It's an image of someone who's very, very wealthy. Well, that's how Satan, through the powers that be, because he leads through those men, they get the wealth, and then the people get the abominations. That's what that abominations is, all that stuff you name: fornications, adulteries, and how you meditate greed and covetousness and all of that. But you can't see it unless you're a child of God. Because the Lord said everything is open and naked in my sight. So if it's open and naked in his sight and we made after his image, then guess what? We have his mind. We can also see.
We can also see.
That's right.
And that's Satan goal too. Is see, in the midst of all of that, I told you, Satan is the Wizard of Oz. He's the one behind the curtain. Because see, while all of these things are going on, he remains unseen. And that's how he get down. You can't see that he's behind all of this, and that it's his government, brothers and sisters, that's reigning supreme on the earth. Everybody trying to pinpoint who it is, who's doing what, why, it's him. And the Bible flat out tell you it's him. And that's who the leaders of these nations, that's who they deal with. The monarch known as Satan.
You know, they say it could be it's probably one of the Rothschilds.
Yeah, the Rothschild.
It's somebody from Black Rock.
No, they taking orders.
It's the Pope. No, it's the devil. And the Lord tells us that in Revelation Chapter 13 that it is Satan.
Yeah.
It's that dragon that gave this beast its power, the seat and the power
and great authority. And
right.
all of the world wondered after the beast. How did they wonder after the beast? By operating in his government.
That's right.
That's how they did it. They love it. They love the get down. That's right, Cornell Bates, the God of this world. It's letting you know who's running the show. It's showing you who's the monarch on this earth. Now, where we at?
We are on, I think, 1 John 3. So right next door.
Okay, so now 1 John 3, verse 2 and 3, because we talked about how, let's see, where was I at? It says, when Christ, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. And that's talking physically. You acquire his nature and everything, but there's going to come a point we are going to acquire the actual God body. And not through no vegetables or seaweed and none of that. No, you're going to acquire it because God is going to give it to you.
That's right.
All right. 1 John 3, verses 2 and 3. Okay, go ahead.
Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. And every man that hath this hope in him purifieth himself, even as he is pure.
So we don't have to go on a vegan rampage. Okay. And it says too, it doeth not yet appear what we shall be. So, brothers and sisters, that whole verse 2, that should stop the conspiracies, brothers and sisters, among us. Listen, well, what kind of body is it? Is it like wind? Maybe it's ethereal. Listen, stop, man.
Yep.
The Lord letting you know, listen, when I come back, you gonna know. I'm gonna change you. You trust me. When you see me, you gonna know. You gonna know what you shall be, because I'm gonna turn you into, as soon as you see me. And it's gonna be like a blink of an eye, too. I'm gonna turn you into what I am. So we got to stop, boy, with all these conspiracies. Ethereal body, is it wind? Or maybe it's rays of the rainbow and all kind of crazy stuff, brothers. So I'm like, no, we be focused on the wrong stuff. Okay. And then that verse 3, every man that have this hope, and everyone that have this hope in him is the Lord's servants.
Mm-hmm.
Those that have his nature, it says, he purified himself even as he is pure. So guess what, brothers and sisters? We straight. We don't put no stock in this flesh, is what I'm saying. Boy, Israel be talking crazy, trying to come up with conspiracies of the body. Well, maybe it's wind, or it's an ethereal body, or maybe it's like reflections of light from the rainbow. I'm like, listen, you'll know when Christ get back here. Israel will spend 2 hours on that stuff. I seen an account from 800 years ago. They said they had seen the body. I'm like, man, we got to quit this foolishness. All right. So now back to Colossians 3. We're going to read verses 5 through 9. Okay, when you get there, go ahead.
Mortify, therefore, your members which are upon the earth.
Because remember, you're supposed to be resurrected. Okay, you're supposed to have acquired God's nature. You're supposed to be born again. You're supposed to be a new creature. So with understanding that mortify, therefore, or kill, because mort means dead. So mortify means to make dead. So kill, therefore, what?
Your members which are upon the earth.
Okay, which is saying what? Put that old man to death. Okay, because that goes back to what? It says upon the earth, and we know what's upon the earth. Satan and his government, which is what? The body of sin. Because that's what's operating right now, the body of sin. So he's saying you need to cut yourself from the body of Satan. Cut yourself off of his body. Okay, which is what? He tell you what these members are, which you was once a part of, and I was once a part of, and what we was all once a part of. Go ahead.
Fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry.
And so this is why back up in verse 2, it says, set your mind on the things above and not on things on the earth, because the things on the earth, obviously, Satan and his government, this is the result of setting your mind on the things on earth. This is what it amounts to. Fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscences, and covetousness, which is idolatry. And brothers and sisters, I'm telling you, in Babylon, because Babylon is a big sin propaganda machine, this is what Satan has people meditating on. But he gets you focused or fixated on the actual physical thing. But no, you got to look beyond that. He got you meditating on sin. He's sowing seeds in your mind that he know if you meditate on long enough, they're going to take root and they're going to grow. This is why everybody running around out here crazy. Look like one of them troll dolls with the hair. Crazy.
And I was going to say this verse that we just read, mortify therefore your members. It reminds me of Jesus when he said, to if your right eye offends you or you pluck it out. And he said, if your hand offends you, cut it off. If your foot offends you, cut it off. It'd be better to go in halt and maimed than your whole body to be cast in the fire. So now we know what he means. He ain't talking about physically cut off, pluck your eye and cut your hand and your foot off. He talking about this right here, what we just read. That's what Paul got it from. Mortify therefore your members, because those are the members in your body.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And see,
So,
and it's fun because people it goes back to it. That people don't realize this is what they're meditating on. This is why they crazy. This is why they looking like this right here, y'all. This is what they looking like. They don't know why they crazy. Sitting up here looking just like that.
Yep.
Running around, little gremlins.
Crazy.
Little darn gremlins. Running around terrorizing everybody. Nuts. Them dolls used to scare me when I was little. So it says, mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscences, and covetousness, which is idolatry. And this is what's in that woman's cup. And while people are involved in all of this, the leaders and the kings and the rulers of this world, brothers and sisters, stripping the people naked.
Well, that's why it said that in Revelation 17 that the kings of the earth, they got rich off of her.
Yeah.
Because Satan sells all of this right here, these fornication and cleanliness. He's selling that, but it's these merchants that he's actually put in power that are benefiting.
Tearing them up, boy.
And so
the people, brothers and sisters, they getting the drawers ripped off of them. And this is why this is why he destroyed our ancestors and sent us into captivity, because our ancestors, they took on Satan's government. Okay, they abandoned the government of God and they instituted the government of Satan, and the Lord gave our ancestors the boot. And here we go today, brothers and sisters. But these people today, they don't know what's happening to them. We're going to fight the government. We're going to take over. No, you finna be involved in this stuff right here. Fornication, evil concupiscences, covetousness, and idolatry. That's what you finna be doing. Soon as you rise up, you're going to revert right back to this right here. Because Satan got you. Okay. Now we're going to read verse 6.
Okay. For which things' sake the wrath of God cometh on the children of disobedience.
That's right. Disobedience, especially with Israel, because guess what? You rejected the government of God. Because you got to remember, the Lord didn't just give us the word and we're just good kids. We were in the wilderness. He just gave us that word. No, brothers. So he was giving Israel his government. He was trying to show you how he was trying to show Israel how he wanted them to walk and how he wanted them to treat their fellow man. Because essentially that's what the government is about, is how you treat your fellow man.
Right.
Government is about governing yourselves. That's what the government is. How are we going to, how are we going to govern ourselves? Well, Israel say, we don't want to hear none of that government of God. We like the government of Satan. Well, they thought they liked the government of the nations, but it belonged to Satan. And they took it on, and again, we got boot. And again, that's why it says, for which things' sake the wrath of God cometh on the children of disobedience. That's why back in Daniel, it said because of the overspreading of what? Abominations.
Yeah.
The Lord was going to make their land and them what? Desolate. Because why? You walking in Satan's government. And the Lord ain't had nothing but smoke for Israel for that. And he gonna have smoke for us too, brothers and sisters, if we operating in it.
That's right.
He expected the nations to operate in it because he didn't give the nations his government. He gave his people the government.
And you're right, because again, going back to King Solomon, when he set up the government after the wisdom of God from above, look at how much peace he had. It said for about 40 years, Israel and Judah had nothing but peace.
On all sides.
But then when he brought in that other government through the women,
War.
through those foreign women that he loved, then that's when you seen it just descend.
Yep, that's right.
He became oppressive over his brothers, and they cried out against him for that oppression. Told the son too.
Yeah.
He oppressed us when he took on that government.
That's right.
And then Israel and Judah was steeped in idolatry because he invited that government in. He left the government of God and took that on.
And see, remember the kings of Israel, it was more than just about there being like a successor. Because he'll take one king out, or the king will die and it'll move on to the next king. It wasn't just about there being a new king, but he was trying to see who's going to implement my government.
Yes.
He say nobody can do it but my son.
Yes.
Yep.
That's why I say the government on his shoulders. Our last king was Zedekiah. They ain't finna do it. He like, my son, he gonna do it though. The son of David, he gonna do it. Okay, where we at?
All right. We are on verse 7.
Verse 7. It says, oh, okay, go ahead. I'm ready to read.
In the which you also walk sometime when you live in them.
We all walked in Satan's government, brothers and sisters. Go ahead.
But now you also put off all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth.
And see, again, that was all a part of Satan's government. And now that we've acquired the nature of God and we walk in his government, we've abandoned the practices of Satan's government, because that what you're reading is more than just sin, brothers and sisters. Those are practices. And you don't just do them things to yourself. It's not just malice. No, you're doing that to somebody.
That's right.
These are practices that has to be carried out on someone, which is what? Not loving your brother and sister because you're harming them. These are all practices that harm your brothers and sisters. And this is why there is chaos among Israel. And chaos among the nations. This is why this word was supposed to be, God's government was supposed to be our wisdom. We say God's commandments. Nah, it was God's government. And I have to say it because, our people, they just, the commandments was going to be our wisdom. You got to look further than that, man. No, it was his government. His government was going to be our wisdom in the sight of the nations. Look at how they operate. You don't see that dog eat dog. Get him before he get me. You don't see that. You don't see classism, and we're going to get into that here in a few verses. We don't deal with classism under Christ's government. These are the nations were supposed to look, brothers and sisters.
Okay. Look like it's back now.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I stopped, yo. Satan like, no, the secret.
Yes.
Prince of the power of the air, the airwaves.
Mhm.
It'll come through.
That's right, the man with the hoofs. All I hear, now that it's back, he taking off.
Mhm.
Okay, we good now, Sister Salika? All right.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, we good. But brothers and sisters, again, all of these things mentioned in verse 8, these are practices that are carried out against your fellow man. And we're not supposed to be adopting those practices under the government of Christ. And see, again, this is why out here in this world among Israel and the nations, this is why there is no peace.
Mhm.
Because these practices don't garner peace, but they garner hatred.
Mm.
It garners division.
Yes.
So I don't care how many laws are made. I don't care how many mandates are passed. If the core, if the nucleus is hatred, everything else is screwed.
That's right.
That's why we made love our foundation, love our core, our nucleus, because from that tree,
Mhm.
everything else branches out. Anything that you create, any institutions will come from that tree of love.
That's right.
Mm.
And that will be the backbone of every organization, system, or anything that you create.
Mm. Some good eating.
Mhm.
All right, y'all. Now we was on verse 8.
Yeah, verse 9.
Now we got to do verse 9. Okay. Let's look at some more practices under Satan's government. Go ahead.
Lie not one to another,
Oh, dishonesty. Go ahead.
seeing that you have put off the old
Old
man
government. Go
Mm.
ahead.
with his deeds.
Practices.
Mm.
Seeing that you have put off the old government with his practices.
Mm.
Satan's practices. You've gotten rid of those things. See, brothers and sisters, this ain't no religion. This ain't no religion. This ain't no good boy, good girl stuff. No, we talking government. We talking about way of life. We talking about being gods. We talking unity. We talking nationalism. That's what we talking, brothers and sisters. This ain't no Christian stuff.
That's right.
This ain't no super Hebrew stuff. Because you got them two super Hebrews
Super brew.
and super Christians. One got an H on their chest and the other one got a C on their chest.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is a God manual. Manual 101 on how to become God.
Mhm.
This is about a kingdom filled with gods. That's what we're looking at. A government of gods. See, they ain't teach Christ like this in the Christian church.
Show you.
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
A song and a dance, a revival, and a head nod, and that's it. And give me your money on the way out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we're going to go to Mark 7 because in verse 5, it talks about how we no longer being a part of Satan's government and a part of his practices. It talks about how we ought to mortify our members, brothers and sisters. So let's go to Mark 7. Mark chapter 7, and we're going to read verses 21 through 23. Mark chapter 7, verses 21 through 23. When you get there, go ahead. Now, this is our master talking. This is Christ. Go ahead.
For from within, out of the heart of men.
So from within,
Mm.
this is the inner man, out of the heart of men. And this is why the Lord tells us we got to be careful what we meditate on, because that's what's going to come out. Go ahead.
Proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, fornications, murders.
And this is what the Babylon, this is why they got you meditating.
Mm.
This is why they not meditate, but this is why they got the propaganda machine going, because it's to get you to meditate on these things, to sow these seeds in your mind, not to actually get you to buy anything or to get you to watch something, but it's simply to put these seeds in your mind. Go ahead.
Thefts, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, an evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. All these evil things come from within and defile the man.
That's right. So it ain't about getting the money or getting the women, getting the men, buying the car, the house. It ain't about none of that. The closer you look, the less you see, brothers and sisters. It's about getting you to meditate on this right here, to get you involved in the practices of Satan's government. That right there. And people, they are glued to these things. Men and women are slaves to this sin, to these sins right here. They slaves to it. Okay. But those are the members, that stuff we just read, those are the members we got to mortify. Detach yourself, brothers and sisters. All right, back to Colossians 3. And now we're going to read verses 10 through 14. So Colossians 3, 10 through 14. And when you get there, go ahead.
And have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge,
Renewed in knowledge in Christ,
after the image of him that created him.
that created the new you, that has his nature. Later, to have his body. But it says, have put on the new man, meaning put on Christ. Christ in you. Go ahead.
Where
Wait,
there
and the new man meaning Christ in you means what? You know, you operate in the practices of Christ's government. And he's finna get ready and start right here and show you the practices of Christ's government. Go ahead.
Where there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcision nor uncircumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bond nor free, but Christ is all and in all.
So under Christ's kingdoms, so under Christ's government, in contrast to Satan's government, under Christ's government, there's no classism. That doesn't exist in Christ's kingdom. Now that exists in Satan's kingdom, but not in Christ's kingdom, because in Christ, see, when you look at classism, brothers and sisters, and classism is what we just read: rich versus poor, bond, free, the haves versus the have-nots, the advantage, the disadvantage. That's classism, and based off of that determines in Satan's kingdom who deserves justice and who doesn't. Now, the Lord, under his kingdom, everybody deserves justice for a wrong, but under Satan's kingdom, only the advantaged deserves justice. And those who are disadvantaged or at the bottom of society, they deserve injustice. So justice goes to the advantage and injustice goes to the disadvantage. But under Christ's government, he says those things aren't so. If you got a rich man and a poor man and they're in court and that rich man has wronged this poor man, you get that rich man. You don't let him pay him off. And he try to pay you off, you beat his fingers.
That's right.
And then he say the same thing. That poor man wronged that rich man. Well, we shouldn't do no more to him because he already poor. No, Lord say, you get that poor man. You get him too. But it's not so in Babylon. I mean, we're going to just let this rich guy off the hook. I mean, because, he got money and then, who really cares about a poor guy anyway? That ain't how the Lord get down. Oh, yeah, he says, we going to go with the poor guy because, I mean, even though he wronged the rich man, I mean, he poor. This rich dude got all the money. No, that ain't how the Lord get down. The Lord don't deal with classism. This woman, she deserves to be treated unfairly because, see, she's a woman. She weaker than the man. So, the men, we rock with the men and stuff like that because, the men, they the heads and stuff. Listen, the Lord don't get down like that. Oh, yeah, we're going to take the women's side, because the women, they a little weaker and stuff like that. And, men, they all powerful. They got a lot of responsibility, a lot of stuff on their plate, got to lead and stuff. So, we're going to, take the side of, the woman. The Lord don't get down like that. I'm just telling y'all. That's why he out here tearing people up. Because whether or not anybody enforces his government, he going to enforce his government. Yeah, I'm a rich guy. Yes, sir. I got off, boy. Too bad for that poor man. Boy, that's why I love having money. And then as soon as he crossed the street, the Lord have a bus hit his behind.
That's right.
The Lord said, if there's not a man to carry out my will, my justice, by my right hand, by my strong hand, I'm going to carry this thing out. That's why I tell you, boy, the Lord ain't mocked. He don't need nobody to believe in his government, operate in it. He gonna do it. He just offering you, hey, do you want to join?
Right. But our people, they need to hear this because for a long time, all of us,
Yeah,
we've been brainwashed with religion. We never saw this in the Word of God, that this has always been about a government. It's never been about some type of Christian organization or
being
some
a good guy,
Catholicism,
good girl,
being some good little girl and boy. No, it's not about that. It's about, this book is about those who want to rule.
That's right.
And have dominion. God is showing you what it takes. You want to be like me? You want to rule? You want dominion? Well, you got to obtain my mind. Right. You have to learn my rules. You have to learn how the government will be ran.
Practices. That's right.
It's not about some religion somewhere
with a steeple. And see, that's why the Lord tell you. He say, listen, under me, under my government, he telling his servants, he's telling the Israelites, the 12 tribes, among each other, y'all better cut that out, all of that classism, because that's what was going on back when we was in the land. The Pharisees and stuff, we'll just take back days of Rome, back the Pharisees and stuff, that's how they got down. If you were of some type of status or, nobility, or if you had money, or if you were just simply friends with the right person, they treated you well, gave you justice based off of that. But Lord, he don't care about none of that junk. He like, listen, you are to do the right thing every time, all the time, because it's the right thing to do, because it's the godly thing to do. And that's how the Lord get down. Not taking, not dealing with favorites and all of that. That's how the heathen get down. They have favorites and all of that. Lord, like, no, sir. Right. This stuff deep, brothers and
It
sisters.
is.
This is some heavy stuff. I can't even fully explain it all because there's so much.
Yes.
There's so many avenues you can take this. All right. So back to Colossians 3. And now, so verse 11, basically, the Lord is telling Israel, you need to end classism among each other under me and my government. Verse 12.
Mm. Put on, therefore, as the elect of God, holy and beloved.
So we going to put on what? We're putting on Christ and his practices, his government. Go ahead, which is what?
Bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering.
And see, these are the things, brothers and sisters. That's what's going to bring you peace. This is why Solomon had peace on every side. Because, see, the core in the currency of Christ's government is love. The core and currency of Satan's government is hatred, division, right? Because in contrast to the practices we've read under Christ, you see the contrast to that in verse 8. Anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication. And you have other stuff, envy, adultery, all of that, dishonesty. But see, under Christ, these are his practices. Bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, and long suffering. And again, both of those things on Satan's side and on Christ's side, these are things you do to somebody else. These are things you do to your fellow man. So he's saying, I want you to have mercy on your fellow man. I want you to be kind to your fellow man. I want you to be humble before your fellow man. Be meek before your fellow man. Be long suffering towards your fellow man. And if you do these things, you will have peace. And you will not be divided, but you will have unity and freedom. Verse 13. Some more.
Forbearing one another and forgiving one another, if any man have a quarrel against any.
That's right.
Even as Christ forgave you, so also do ye.
And we know even Christ, it said even as Christ forgave you, because brothers and sisters, we all deserve death. There literally was no incentive for Christ to have done anything that he did for us, let alone Adam. He could have stopped it at Adam. We was all in his loins. He could have stopped it right there. But he decided on his own will. I forgive Adam. I'm going to keep my plan going. Except it ain't going to be through Adam. It'll be through Christ. And in Christ, I'll redeem the first Adam. And so the Lord, like, if I'm God and I have no incentive, I mean zero, to have done showed you any of the kindness and forgiveness that I showed you, he like, if I can do it, surely you can. Because I'm greater than you. I'm greater in might, status, power, and all of that. Because you see how you will have employees, right? Let's just say, they got a good boss, right? And the boss on the back dock or in the warehouse throwing pallets with him. He back there throwing pallets. Or he a CEO and he back there. He got his shirt up and there. He throwing pallets and everything. Look how them employees, they getting energized. Man, they look at him. He the CEO. He throwing with us. They throwing together. Well, that's what Christ is trying to provoke in you. I'm that good master. Except I'm beyond the CEO. I'm God. I'm throwing with y'all. I'm throwing pallets with y'all. If I could do it and it ain't beneath me, then you can do it. It shouldn't be beneath you. But we got some hard-headed Israelites who get a title, some self-proclaimed title. They get some money. They get some type of recognition. And they believe that all of these things we just mentioned in verse 12 is beneath them.
Mhm.
Now, wait a minute. Now, Christ, he did all of these things that he telling us to do because he ain't no hypocrite.
That's right.
He ain't telling us to do nothing that he ain't do. If I'm good enough to do it, you good enough to do it. Okay. 14.
And above all these things, put on charity,
Or love.
which is the bond of perfectness.
That's right. Because why love or charity, brothers and sisters, is the foundation of the government of Christ.
Mm.
If you make that your law, brothers and sisters, you will not have to make 50 million laws and mandates
Sign an executive order.
trying to cover sin after sin with these mandates and these laws when all you got to do is just have one law that'll cover it all. And that will stop the mistreatment, stop the sin, and that's love. Go ahead, Mama.
Yeah, and that's why when we go to Isaiah 9 and verse 6, and he speaks as he says, for unto us who? Israel. Okay, that's who Isaiah prophesied to. He said, unto us a child is born.
That's right.
Unto us a son is given. And who is that son given from? The Father. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son to Israel. And it says that the government, that government that Reggie Jr. talking about, it says that government shall be upon his shoulder, letting you know he the boss. He run it. He's carrying it. He controls this government. And his name shall be called what? Wonderful, majestic. No other name but what? Counselor, the mighty God, the everlasting Father, the Prince of what? Peace. And I like, he says, of the increase of his government. And that increase comes from what? What Brother Reggie been trying to tell us. He trying to make more gods. That increases his government. And peace. There shall be what? No end.
That's
Why?
right.
Because it's an operation of love. Upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom to order it and to what? Establish it with what? Judgment.
Yes, sir.
And with justice from henceforth, even forever. The zeal of God of the Lord of hosts will perform this. And that's what we seen Christ in operation of his government. And he was showing the disciples, this is how my government runs.
That's right.
This is how it operates. In that council where he dispensed his wisdom to them. He said, you see these what? Scribes and Pharisees? Don't do that.
Beware
He
of the
just,
leaven.
yes.
But we just
good.
see it as, oh, he just teaching them about being a good boy and good little girl. I be like,
And I just want to say, I mean, family, just think about what Isaiah said. And the government shall be on his shoulders, not religion, not none of that,
That's
not
right.
some church organization somewhere. The
he ain't
Catholic
say
Church.
Christianity,
He didn't mention none of it.
Islam, Mormon. He ain't say none of
He
that.
didn't say Baptist, Pentecostal. He ain't mentioned none of them. 7-day Advent should be on his shoulder. No, he said the government. And I like that the government, it says, is placed on his shoulders, right? If the government is on his shoulder, remember, it's not just Christ the man, but
the body.
his body.
I was just gonna say it, but I knew you were gonna
And
say
his
it.
and his body is his people.
That's right.
It's the children of Israel. And it's on his shoulder because that's where his ain't your head on your shoulders. And who's the head? Christ.
Which means you're helping Christ bear this government.
Right. Yes. So you're helping him rule it.
That's right.
And this is, and so basically this word of God is teaching us how to rule,
how to govern ourselves.
So for you black men who want to rule, God is showing you, men, read my word. You read my word will show you how to rule. You basically preparing yourself. What you think the God body for? We've been talking about the God body. Is he gonna give you that body so that you can rule forever?
And then literally government means administration or rule. So administration or rule. Mm-mm-mm. So literally, brothers and sisters, we're gods in training.
Yes, I was just gonna say, Brother Baruch, but yep, in training. God's
That's right.
in training. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Get ready. That mean our men are up. Are you men ready?
Yeah, boy,
I'm ready to
ready.
see. And here the whole time they said all this stuff about you. Oh, you thugs, gangsters, dusties, and all of that. Well, look what the Lord's saying. You ain't none of that. You the future kings and rulers and lords on this earth, fulfilling what the Lord told Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob long ago. Out of you shall come forth these rulers.
That's right. These kings.
That's you.
That's right.
And this is what the nations fear. You taking back up your rightful place as the ruling men on this earth.
Mm-hmm. Now you see why Satan is so wrathful.
So if you ever ask, why are we as black men always under attack?
Because Satan know who you are.
Because of this right here. So just in case you're listening, you didn't know, now you know.
Because remember, brothers, you know, Satan, he knows who you are. And he knows what you are. And the Lord created the woman, our Israelite women, to do what? Help us, brothers and sisters.
That's right.
He created them to help us what? Rule and dominate.
Yes.
The black woman gonna have it so good in that day, boy.
Oh man.
Gonna have it good in that day.
Laid back.
Laid back, boy. And I can't wait, brothers and sisters. And Satan, like I said, this is why he attack you, because he know who you are. Even if you don't, he know who you are, and he know that you are the next gods on this earth.
That's right.
All right, back to Colossians 3. Okay, and we're gonna read. Okay, because we finished 14. Now we're gonna read Romans 6. Yeah. Romans 6, and we're going to take a look at verse 3 and 4. Because being a part of Christ's government, having his nature now, it says we ought to put on bowels of mercy, etc. These new practices under Christ's government. So Romans chapter 6, verses 3 and 4. Go ahead.
Know you not that so many of us as were baptized in Jesus Christ are baptized into his death?
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, we are buried with him by baptism into death.
That's right.
That like as Christ was raised up from the dead by the glory of the Father, even so we also should walk in newness of life.
And obviously that's talking spiritually. Now later that's going to be physical. But spiritually, the newness of life is to my what? This new government, the God government. Yes. The government of Christ. And adopting his practices. Not the practices of Satan. All right, we almost there, y'all. We're going to read verse 15 through 17. So back to Colossians 3, and we're going to read verses. Oh, you got another?
I had to.
Burning you up.
Because what we just read about this baptism, first of all, this is the true baptism that the Lord is talking about. This is Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 10, because he said, even so also should walk, and you walk with your feet, right?
That's
in
right.
newness of life. Ezekiel 37:10. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath, remember these bones are what? Dead.
Dry.
They're dry, so they're dead. And the breath came unto them, and of course we know this breath is who? Christ. And they lived and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army. Wait a minute, them same feet walked on. So they be walking in the newness of life.
That's right.
That's
right.
not what they was once dead in those sins. That's why they dry bones in the valley. But
That's
now
right.
they have resurrected by Christ's spirit
Mm.
and are what? Stood up on their feet, walking in the newness of life. And is it just you just walking in the newness? No, this leads somewhere.
That's
And
right.
Ezekiel just told you.
Mm.
The future Lord and Kings done rose up.
Yes, sir.
And the day is going to come when you're going to fight with the Lord against your enemies.
And remember too, as above, so below. Remember, with Satan, everything is right side up, and he copies God,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you got Satan, him being the head, like Christ is the head, and his body, which is what? His gods or his children. In contrast to Christ, his body, which is what? His children, his gods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And you either gonna be a part of one of the two bodies. Okay. So it lets you know that these heathens, they're false gods.
Mm-hmm.
Because Satan has given his children the kingdom, whereas God is going to give us what? The kingdom. So what you're seeing is Satan, he's mimicking God.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because he wants to be like the Most High.
Mm.
But he won't be because he's a counterfeit.
That's right.
Because with Satan, and you'll notice the patterns too, brothers and sisters, as you read with Satan, everything is inversed with him.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just put it that way. So, in other words, find out how God operates and the way he do things in his mindset, and then inverse it or reverse it or inverse it, and you will find Satan's footprint.
Mm.
So now Colossians chapter 3, and we're going to read verses 15 through 17. When you get there, go ahead.
And let the peace of God rule in your hearts, to the which also you are called in one body.
One body, that government, go ahead.
And be ye thankful.
Mm-hmm.
Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord.
And what he's talking about there is, again, he's talking about meditation, meditating on him. Go ahead.
And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God and the Father by him.
And as we see, when we acquire the nature of God, he shows us how to deal with one another. And that's what Israel as a people, that's what we need. We need to learn how to deal with each other. Okay? Because separating from the heathen, that's not enough. You need to be guided. You need to know how to deal with one another, or else you're going to go back to Egypt. And that's what Israel, this is what we need. We need to learn how to deal with one another. And that's going to only come by way of Christ. That's why you got to have Christ in you, because he is going to guide you. He's going to show you. All right, let's go to Isaiah 26. Isaiah 26 and 3. Because it says, let the peace of God rule in your hearts. So Isaiah 26 and 3. Go ahead.
Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee.
And again, that go back to what Sister Zahara said, you know, we don't operate in Satan's system, which tell you, you got to go after it, you got to go get it, one up your brother, do him before we do you. We don't do that because we know God got us. That's why it says godliness with contentment is great gain. This is why we have peace. Even though in America, I can only speak for America, even though the economy is shot to heck, we are not worried. We are not distraught. We don't feel like we have to go out and do somebody in. We don't have to go to our jobs and try to one up and lie and deceive because we know God got us. God taking care of us. And we know that he will take care of us because he promised us that. And we believe it. So now, we're going to finish off, brothers and sisters, with Colossians 3:18 through 25. And we will be finished. Go ahead.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, as it is fit in the Lord.
Okay, so again, this is talking about the government of God, and now he's talking about the dynamic in this government of the authority figure and those who fall under the authority. All right, go ahead.
Husbands, love your wives, and be not bitter against them.
Okay, so it says, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband, because your husband is the lead, he's in charge. Your husband is supposed to be the one making the decisions. Your husband is supposed to be the one guiding the household, or essentially he's the one that's being God and is ruling and he's governing. And so when you submit to him, it's more than just submit to him, but you're helping him. And when you help him, everything goes smoothly when you're helping him. It says, as it is fit in the Lord. Okay. But then here in verse 19, unlike in Satan's kingdom and his get down and what he tell and feed the men, it says, husbands, love your wives. And again, brothers and sisters, for the men and the women, this stuff you're reading right here, this isn't optional. I hope we realize that. When it say, wives, submit yourself to your husband, this ain't optional. When it says, husbands, love your wife, this is not optional. These are not suggestions. These ain't just some good sayings. This, that Christ is commanding you. Because what you're essentially doing, okay, let me break it down further than just this husband and wife dynamic. What you're doing at home is you're practicing the government of God. That's what you're doing. Because remember, you're God's in training, so you're practicing a government at home. And if you can't work this government out at home, you're not going to be able to work it out with the real thing. So husbands, love your wives just like Christ loves us. And be not bitter against them. And remember, men, everything that we reading about the women here is pertaining to you because you're the wives of God. So we as men must submit to who? Christ. Submit to his will, his leadership, the things that he's decided for our lives. That's what we need to make sure we submit to that. Putting aside what? Our own will. Just as Christ submitted to his Father when he was down here. He submitted to his Father's will. And if he could do it, we should be able to do it too, seeing that Christ himself was God. And it says, husbands, love your wives just as what? Christ loves us. And we a mess, brothers. I can guarantee you the men of Israel, absolute, and I'm not kidding, a mess. They first name begin with M and end with S. mess. But yet, the Lord, what? Loves his wife. He still loves us. And he still take care of us.
Yeah.
And so the Lord is telling the men of Israel, hey, I know you women ain't really the best in this captivity right now. A lot of stuff going on. You need to love them, though. And be not what? Bitter against them. Because if you bitter against them, you bitter against yourself. You're going to destroy your government. And that's what you see happening. The black men are destroying themselves. You go against your women, you go against yourself. Women, if you go against your men, you go against yourself. You destroying your government.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says, children. Oh, okay. Go ahead to it. I'm ready to keep.
Shoot, I was
watching
you. Children, obey your parents in all things, for this is well pleasing unto the Lord.
Okay, because the children are what? They're the offspring of these gods, the offspring of this what? Government. And when it's talking about children here, it's talking about of all ages. We think of children, 10 years old. No, 40, 50, parents still alive. Hey, obey your parents. Why? Because if you don't, you will affect the government.
Right.
You'll breed disunity. You'll start bringing in the customs and the practices of Satan.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is being said because you want your government to operate like a well-oiled machine. This keeps division from happening. This keeps Satan's hoof from getting into your house. This is how you keep it out. Everyone submitting to one another. Verse 21.
Fathers, provoke not your children to anger, lest they be discouraged.
Because when you provoke, when there's provocation, you cause rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
And if that can happen for a child, that can happen for a wife or to a wife. That can happen to what? A husband. And when there's rebellion, there's chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And where there's chaos, there's disunity.
Mm-hmm.
And where there's disunity, there's division. Mm-hmm. And where there's division, the kingdom falls.
Oh, man.
Wow.
This is why we need to listen to God. Verse 22.
Servants, obey in all things your masters according to the flesh.
Okay, and this, brothers and sisters, this is not talking about no slavery and nothing like this. No, this is talking about employer-employee type of deal. You work in the field and all of that. That's what that's talking about. Go ahead.
Not with eye service as men pleasers.
That's right. Got a lot of them today. Go ahead.
But in singleness of heart.
Or in sincerity.
Fearing God.
So not only doing the right thing because your master or your fellow man is around. No, you're doing the right thing because God watching. And then two, not only that, but it builds trust. Because whether you think whether you think so or not, you always have an audience. Somebody is watching. Whether your employer is around or not, there is always an audience. You lazy when your employer ain't around, but then when they come around, all of a sudden you just as responsible and as accountable. You the hardest worker. But that's the most important thing at the end right there, that verse 22, fearing God. Because again, this goes back to the government. Yep. If you can't be loyal and sincere with your earthly master, you're not going to be loyal and sincere with the task your heavenly master gives you.
That's right.
So you're unfit to be in this government because he gonna choose you to be rulers over certain cities and stuff like that. But you can't even do right down here. I can't trust you with nothing else.
That's right.
I told y'all, this is a test.
That's what you Brother Baruch was saying. God's in training. This
In
is
training.
training. It's part of your training.
So even marriage and having children and dealing with the household and all of that, ministry, that's all government related stuff. This government related training for the gods.
Just like the qualifications of a bishop or an elder, he said, let them first rule well at home.
At home.
Because if you can't even rule at home, how you gonna rule over the children of Israel? Because Israel is the church.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't order your home. How you gonna order the children of Israel?
But he said, well.
Well, yes, rule well. That's right. Because everybody don't rule well.
Mm-hmm.
They say if you rule well.
Man.
So it's training.
That's right. Mm-mm-mm.
Remember the Lord even said, what? Train up a child in the way they should go. Well, we're his children. So he's training us up.
That's right. That's right. That's the facts. I like that. Well, it's so much nuggets and everything in this lesson here. All right. So back to Colossians 3 and 9, we're going to read verse 23.
Oh. Okay. And whatsoever you do, do it heartily.
Yep. Do it sincerely and with everything you got.
As to the Lord and not unto men.
So the Lord doubling down. I don't like men pleasers. Go ahead.
Knowing that of the Lord you shall receive the reward of the inheritance.
Because, okay, go ahead.
For you serve the Lord Christ.
Not your earthly master.
Mm-hmm.
So you're supposed to be trying to impress your heavenly master, not your earthly master.
That's right.
That's where we go wrong. No, Christ is going to be giving you your reward, not your earthly master. Go ahead.
So, and I wanted to say, so that just go to show you all that up above is training, because he said, knowing that you shall receive the reward of the inheritance, that's the kingdom to come that you're going to rule.
That's right.
So if you can't even do this, 18 through 23,
I can't trust you.
I can't trust you with 24.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Verse 25.
But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he have done. And there is no respect of persons.
Everybody gonna get what they got coming to them. Because that's what? Justice. That's right. That's the kingdom of Christ. And brothers and sisters, I had some other scriptures written, but I remember them, but it don't fit into what we went over today. So I'm gonna leave all that out. So that's it, brothers and sisters. I hope you guys got some understanding, but we need to understand that, hey, this thing is about a government. This thing is about being God's in training. This is not no religion, no good boy, good girl stuff. No, this is about government and how to govern ourselves as gods. That's what we looking at. And we in training every day. We under a test by the Almighty God to see if we are worthy. That's it. It's literally that simple. So I hope you guys got some understanding. If I went too fast for you, you can always catch the rebroadcast and rewind or fast forward to your leisure. You can write down scriptures, whatever you got to do. And again, I'm just doing the best I can, brothers and sisters, to guide you. At the end of the day, it's up to you to take this thing further. All right. So I thank you, brothers and sisters, for your time. And Lord willing, I will see you guys again next week. Shalom.